Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, degenerates of all ages, welcome to yet another evening of Thursday night fun with your old buddy Fuzz. Nice to see you guys. We got a good night ahead of us, folks. I'm excited about this one. I've been waiting for a while, and the night is finally here. Mr. Brian Austin. He is a teacher from Shaker High School, and I have been waiting for months now to pick his brain, see what's going on in that vast wealth of knowledge he has there. So we're going to bring him in just a couple minutes. We'll get to some show business first. Of course, we're going to talk about the Mark-A-Wish fundraiser that we had scheduled for the 9th. That was postponed due to the ice and Um, the ice was postponed to the ice. So there is a new date now. It is Sunday, January 23rd. That's the Mark-A-Wish benefit Sunday, January 23rd. Still 2 to 6 p.m. Still at Chrome in Waterford, New York. Support for Mark Garrett. Mark is a local drummer who's done a lot for the local music scene, and we are raising some funds for him. Mark was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and he's under a very aggressive therapy for that. So he's a fighter, and we know he's going to make it through this. So we're going to help him in any way we can. There is a Venmo open right now for donations. That Venmo is at Mark-A-Wish Benefit. That is at Mark-A-Wish Benefit. You guys have had so many generous donations so far. We definitely appreciate that. If you guys do wind up going to the show, it's a $20 donation at the door. You get to see 4 bands, all 4 bands that Mark was in. Of course, there's going to be other drummers filling in for my man. It is Uncivil Liberty. You have Max Thrust, Super 8-6, and China White. All 4 will be there. It's going to be a great time. $20, 4 bands. And there's also going to be raffles and 50/50s there. So plenty of ways to donate. Also, that Venmo again is at Mark-A-Wish Benefit. Capital Underground, of course, is on exclusively on nippertown.com. Capital Underground is the best hour in local music you will find anywhere on your computer dial, radio dial, computer, keyboard. It's the best local music you'll find on the interwebs, folks. So, thanks, Judith. Good to see you. Make sure you guys are tuning into that exclusively, of course, on nippertown.com. Check out nippertown.com. Nippertown has everything local you guys want. Entertainment, food, music, culture, arts, the whole 9 yards. It's on there. If it's not up there, it'll be up there soon. The mayor of Nippertown is always working hard for you guys, so make sure you check it out, nippertown.com. Also, check out shuffleextreme.com. That is an internet radio station, 24 hours a day of some of the heavier stuff that you're going to want to hear no matter what hour of the day you're looking to hear music. So check that out. Shuffleextreme.com, internet radio station. That's Ralph's little baby. And go check it out. Give it a little cuddle. How's that sound? Guys, I just got some good news that you guys are probably going to be excited about. I know I am very excited about. Coming really, really soon. 3 massive interviews, and they all came in one day. I'm very excited about it. The band Black Sabbath, which I just interviewed Battle Axe. They're going to be opening for them. The band Black Sabbath. I will be interviewing them on the show very soon. Also, the band Fuel and Jeff Tate, formerly of Queensryche, now with Operation Mindcrime. So all 3 of them, huge news. Super excited. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a great time for sure. Going to be some good interviews. I cannot wait. I'm excited. So you guys all know our socials. Our socials are youtube.com/thatfuzzingrockshow, facebook.com/thatfuzzingrockshow, Insta and TikTok. We're also there at That Fuzzing Rock Show. Please, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. Doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, and you guys will be notified every time we go live on the air. Facebook, we just hit 1,800 followers, 1800 on the way to 2,000. Hopefully you guys can make that happen tonight. Click that follow button on the That Fuzzing Rock Show page on Facebook. And, of course, all the subscribes you guys can on YouTube will definitely help. Wednesday evening on Nippertown's Facebook page, you guys can also give that a follow if you wouldn't mind. A like, show some love there. We have a show called The Crew. We talk about all sorts of stuff on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. So come hang out with us on Wednesdays and come over here and join in on the mayhem on Thursdays. You know what? I'm not going to do any more of this crap. We're going to get Mr. Brian Austin here. I can't wait anymore. We got to get him in. So please, guys, if you will welcome with me the voice of the bison, teacher, tech guru, and certified badass from Shaker High School, Mr. Brian Austin. Welcome, sir, to the show. How are you today, my friend?
What an intro! I tell you, that's awesome. I'm great. How are you doing, Fuzz? Good to see you.
I'm well, man. It's been a while. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and it's finally happening. We took most of the green out of the studio. We made it blue and white in your honor. We put the big bison up in the corner for you guys. So
I see that, Yeah.
Definitely got a lot of respect for you, and I'm honored that you joined me. Thank you so much for that.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. It's I actually came into my office here at school. This is not my home. It's this is actually, well, it kind of is. This is where I spend the majority of my time.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. So, but it's my office here at school. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. So that's what I tell people. But it's a little more interesting than some of the stuff I have at home. It's I got some more stuff to look at. So it's a lot of fun for sure. Yep.
So, guys, if you guys are watching, you guys are in the chat, you guys are checking out the show. If you guys have any questions that you'd like me to ask Mr. Austin, you guys can put them in the chat. Also, let us know who's out there and who's hanging out and who's secretly listening in to try and dig up some dirt on Mr. Austin. Because they're out there. You guys can't hide from us. We know you're out there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So let's get right into it, man. What does it take to be a good music teacher?
Wow. What does it take to be a good music teacher? Well, what does it take to be a good teacher, I guess, as well as music? Music, you have to have that background, and you have to have the knowledge of the instruments you're going to be teaching, and a real love for it. That's what it boils down to as well. I mean, you can, it's, and I've said this before, a tie doesn't make a good teacher. I mean, as far as what you wear, you can wear a tie and still not be a good teacher. It's how you relate to the students. How can you get the students in your class to love what they're doing every day and be passionate about it? And I think if you're passionate about it, hopefully that can translate over into the students as well. Being a good teacher, that it's a lot about just being able to listen to kids, being able to hopefully somewhat relate to them. I think as I'm I only look like I'm about 25, but I'm a little bit older than that. So, and as we get a little bit older, that age gap, you tend to lose some of that relation with the kids. So, and I'm starting to see that a little bit too in myself. So I'm always trying to stay in touch with what keep a finger on what they're on the pulse of the kid of today.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that I have 3 kids as well. And one of them's in high school with me right now, so she's in my orchestra and she plays cello. So that's quite a treat to have her there too. But doing music, it's been a passion of mine since 8 years old. And when I first started playing, my main instrument is the viola, so it's like the bigger violin. And so my parents kind of made me play the viola because they didn't want to hear the squeaky sound of the violin. So. It turned out all right. So, and I got more gigs because a lot of violins, not many violas. So, I started at 8 years old, and my teacher that I had when I was 8 years old, she was my inspiration to do that, and to become I knew from then I wanted to do something with music. I'm kind of one of those strange people that knew what they wanted to do in their life when they were like 8 or 9 years old. So it was quite an awesome opportunity for me. And I've been able to, it sounds so cliche, live the dream, or really enjoy what you do, going to work every single day. But I really do. And yeah. So
I have a trivia question for you. This is kind of like I usually shoot to the side and then try to get back into what I was talking about. So I'm going to stump you on this one too, because there's a right answer and then there's a funny answer, and I want the funny answer. So what is the difference between a violin and a fiddle?
Well, not a whole lot. Well, you give me your answers.
There's a big difference. One has strings and one has strangs. I'm sorry.
True,
that's a dad joke. My kid's cringing right now. Like, oh my God, did he really just say that? I did, bro. I did.
A lot of dad jokes. I use more than my fair share of them every day. I do. Ask Mike Jr. for sure.
So you said that you have a kid that one of your children is in your orchestra now. So you're allowed to teach your own children?
Yeah. Isn't that weird, right?
No, I think it's great, because I'd be like, oh, you didn't clean your room, F.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't pick up, you know what I mean? Oh, you forgot to scrape your plate after dinner, F.
Yeah, right. No, it's actually, it's really awesome. All my kids, I have a 23-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 14-year-old. So 2 boys and a girl. and they've all been in orchestra. Two of them played the viola, and I guess in my footsteps in a way. And then Caroline decided to play the cello. So Connor and Evan both played the viola, and Caroline's the cellist. And it's been great. I get to see them every day, and I get to hang out with them every day, and take them to work every day, or to school rather. And
that's great.
It's been a great opportunity just to have them be a part of what I do every day too. So, and
Sure.
yeah, you're right. I can give them the F thing too. Yeah.
I like it, man. That's good stuff. Now, how do you keep the students interested in the music program? Because I'm sure they kind of get like, I don't want to do this anymore. How do you kind of give them that bump to make them stay with it?
Once again, I think it's trying to show them how much I love it. Trying to show them how blessed I am every day to be able to come to work and be able to teach music. I asked them the question, actually in my music tech class and even orchestra, we talk about, we spend a couple days on what is music. We actually have a whole conversation about it and get their definitions and get all of and we discuss it quite in depth. And I asked them, we have music class. Why don't we have like lawn mowing class? Why don't we have something practical that we can use, or or writing a check class or something, which we do, and other and minor things. We actually have full program of music. I mean, we have 3 bands, we have 2 orchestras, we have 4 choirs. We have numerous after school groups, and it keeps growing, and it's the kids really enjoy having that be a part of their day and after school as well. And I think it's just, I'm not the kind of person that will turn anybody away. I know that people want to be there because it's sometimes just a place to get away. It's sometimes just a safe place to get away. It's sometimes a place where they're really enjoying themselves. I mean, I've had students that really can't play a whole lot, and it's like, it doesn't bother me. I will work with them the same as I'll work with a kid that can play any violin concerto or whatever. And that's really important to me, that every kid is included, and that, we don't play favorites, and we don't do that kind of thing, that we make sure that every kid feels fun and feels like they have a place in the group. Yeah. So
you've been at this for 30 plus years, since like 1991, I think, right?
Very good. Wow.
Has your whole career been at Shaker?
My whole career was at Shaker. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
31 years. Yeah. I walked in the door. I had my interview. First ever interview too. Really. And then I walked out the door and I said, well, that was a good experience. And, and actually had an interview up in Maine. And got that job too, surprisingly enough. Luckily, I didn't take the job in Maine because it was like the last town before Canada, so it was way up there. Yeah, and it's a beautiful country, a lot of moose and blueberries. But Shaker called me up and they offered me the job, and I haven't looked back since. It's just been an awesome experience. And I know a lot of people have numerous jobs in their careers or numerous placements in their careers, and I've been really, really fortunate. Every day I think about that too.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, you attended school out in Potsdam, right? Crane?
Yeah, went to Crane School of Music.
How was that for you?
Not a lot up there. It's cold, It's close to Canada too. But I'll tell you, I went there because it is one of the top music education schools for learning how to be a music teacher.
Absolutely.
For training in the state. I mean, there's many other ones too. I mean, but really, for a state school, for a SUNY school, that's number one. I mean, it's the Crane School of Music at SUNY Potsdam, so it's it's almost like a conservatory. Right. And I had such good experience up there, and it really prepared me well for what I do.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you recommend college to all your kids, right?
Sure, I do, but I also encourage them to follow what they want to do. I've had many students that want to go on and do performance, like just performance major, maybe in college or even just after school, go on and get a job in a studio or get a job someplace in the area. And I think this area is just amazing for the amount of opportunities that are there for students if they look for them, in the recording industry. And there's a lot of studios out there.
Yes.
And you don't necessarily need a college degree to get started in that,
Right.
And the training, the internships, empty the garbage can for a year and then work your way up to the board, that kind of thing. So, college is great. I do encourage it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the person that wants to pursue what career they want to go for sure. Yeah.
So now, if you weren't a music teacher, what would you be doing at this point?
Wow. If I was, I didn't want to be what did I want to be? I think I wanted to be a cook at one point, but that was short lived because I can't.
Like, let's go way back to when you were a kid, like 5, 6.
Yeah.
What were you like? Was it like the fireman policeman thing, or?
Yeah. And I did that. I've done that. So I was a member. I still am a member of the Latham Fire Department.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not an active member. I'm a social member right now, but I was an active member of the fire department for 13 years. Was a captain, lieutenant. Rose to the ranks there, and the big trucks, and the signs, and it was a great experience. I said I wanted to do something that was community service and was exciting, and that was it. So that was kind of cool. So I got to live kind of that dream too a little bit. So yeah, I totally admire the fire, the police, EMS services. I was involved with the town board. I was on the town board, Colonie town board for the last 9 months. Just stepped off there. Was on the planning board, on the zoning board, so involved in politics in the town, or at least in the workings of the town. I try to stay as non-political as I can. I think what's best for the town is what we should be concentrating on.
Absolutely.
And so those kind of things I've done a lot of stuff. I really have. I mean, I've professional mascot, worked at McDonald's for a long time. But what did I want to be when I grew up? I think it was always a music teacher. It really was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said since you were like 8 years old, right? Is that?
Yeah, and I've had the privilege.
Yeah,
I've had the privilege of working with that teacher that started me. That teacher that started me actually retired from Saratoga, where I went to elementary school.
Oh, no kidding.
And she came to work part-time at Shaker a number of years back. And I'll throw her name out there. Barbara Brothers is her name. She's phenomenal. And she's been doing it for just forever. And so she actually taught my oldest son, started him on viola too. So we had full circle. So not 2 generations.
Oh, that's awesome. That was
good. And I had the opportunity to thank her for everything she did for me, and as well the other directors I've had in my career or in my schooling. So it's been pretty awesome.
The fruits of her labor, it shows off. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So you guys have had a couple big names come through Shaker. Mariah Formica is one of them, who's like absolutely killing it right now. I mean, they went from here to here in a matter of months. They just blew up, which is great. They deserve it. Super talented. Also, Madison Vandenberg.
Yep. Yeah. Madison.
Did you have the pleasure of teaching either of them, or
no?
Really?
Because and actually they were involved a little bit in the choral program up through junior high, when we still had the junior high. Now it's a middle school, and then when they got to high school, they started going off and doing their own thing. I know that I believe Maddie was still involved in chorus for a lot of her high school career, and I think Mariah was in it for a few years too. But then they got involved in what they were doing, up in Clifton Park at the studio up there, and basically honing their craft to go on American Idol and go on The Voice and just go national, which is really awesome. and I had the privilege of doing some things with them. I actually worked with Madison when she at the Proctor's thing she just did
Yep.
the
Yep.
SEO, the Santa Claus that was on stage. That was me. So that was actually
No.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
You let out a trade secret. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't do that. No, it was really Santa. It really was. And then, and I've done some other things. Like when she came to town for the American Idol, I was the MC for the big event they had at the Crossings, and so I got to do that. So a lot of different interactions that way. I've seen Mariah a number of times, but I didn't actually have any I guess hand in working with them. And unfortunately, I gotta say this. Unfortunately, we don't offer a lot of what they do at Shaker, so which is too bad. And we've been trying to do that. We're actually offering a songwriting course in the future, a guitar course in the future, some more keyboard-based things in the future. Mr. Suzuki, my cohort, runs a world music program, which is actually it's actually kind of a rock band and training program. So they've done a real nice job with that. So yes, that's. I think that's hopefully the future. We can have more things to offer to those kind of kids. Yeah.
As far as it's like, I mean, School of Rock's doing some really good stuff as far as like a paid service goes. They do some pretty good teaching there, you know.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
So now, as far as teaching music, what do you teach? I know you do orchestra. I know you do music tech. That's just my, from personal knowledge.
Yeah.
What else do you teach there? Is there more courses that you teach, or is that primarily your focus?
Well, I spent 18 years in the junior high, so it's and I finally was able to graduate, yay, to the high school. And so I moved up about 13 years ago to the high school. Over at the junior high, I taught primarily orchestra and general music. So in general music, we did all history stuff, and we also did instruction on guitar, keyboard. We did penny whistle, recorder, auto harp, banjo for a while. There's a lot of a variety of instruments. It was quite a sound in that room when that was happening. But that was a long time ago. Now they just do guitar and keyboard, which is it's a very basic intro, but it's for the kids that want to go on. Here at the high school, when I moved up, I started just by teaching orchestra. The numbers still are very good for the orchestra, just to have that as my primary job, and teaching lessons in school too. And then I was teaching theory, music theory 1, and theory. I do theory 2. I think I did theory 2 1 year as well. And I've also done the music tech course as well, music technology, and we're just getting ready to start advanced music technology too in the spring. And then I also run the Sound and Lights Club, which is the audio video club, I guess, for lack of a better word, here at the high school, and some different groups after school too. So that's awesome. my main job. Yeah.
The orchestra this year is huge.
Yeah.
It's really. Because I know I went to the winter concert. I was talking to my son's mom, and I'm like, is that bigger? Is the orchestra like really big, or is it just me? She's like, no, it's really big this year.
Yeah. Well,
and you guys sounded great, by the way.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, they did a great job. We actually added an electric guitar in there. It was pretty cool. So we had a nice feature. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra piece, which was pretty neat.
That was great. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was cool. And but I think we were all kind of a little nervous coming out of COVID. After last year, with schedules being all just really weird, and then the year before we were off for until the end of the year, and at home at least, and we weren't really sure what kind of numbers we'd get, what kind of energy or enthusiasm we would get, and it has just pleasantly been surprising. I mean, it's awesome, because there's been all these kids that have signed up. They're really ready to go. I give them music, and I can keep, and they're asking for more. They say read something, and I'm like, that was too easy. So I give them something harder, and that's too easy. So then I keep pushing the limit for them, kind of raising that bar a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're just, I think they're just excited to be back, and be back in a group. be back performing in front of people, which is really,
Yeah,
that was awesome for that concert. It really was.
I think taking away the social aspect is probably the worst thing that happened in this whole. I mean, other
Yeah.
than obviously the path that this thing is, the path of destruction this virus
Yeah,
has left. I think that's
exactly.
as far as the kids go. I think that's the one thing that was hurting them in school the most was the social aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
I
having
totally
that face to face interaction, and not even be able to interact with the teacher. I mean, it's one thing to do this like this, but if you and
Yeah,
I were sitting across from each other in person, the conversation may be completely different. Who knows?
it really is. And and being on camera with the kids and try. I mean, I tried to make my Zooms and my meets, because you really can't rehearse online. The buffering and the delay and the internet is just
Right.
it just doesn't provide for a good experience for the kids. So I would try to do as much as I could, even with theory stuff, trying to teach them stuff like that, and also
Sure.
just try to make almost, I take inspiration from your show here. I wish I had a studio like you, man. That's so cool. And just having that, having them engaged, keeping them so they keep that camera on. Well, they didn't turn their cameras on all the time, but at
Wow.
least staying online with me and for the whole period, and trying to do, I did all sorts of sound effects kind of stuff. We had all that kind of the Among Us theme.
Avocados from Mexico.
Put those kind of things in there. I'd start everything with the 20th Century Fox theme, and
there you go.
And
I am your host.
And just throwing all the different exciting, anything. We play Cahoots. I'd bring in all my DJ lights, and and I'd wear costumes every day, and so just try to make it different every day, and they
Sure.
would tune in, and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun too, and we had a good time. So
now, can you imagine if this was back in the day when we didn't have the internet? Like, where would we have been then? That would have been a nightmare.
I honestly don't know. I always
Kids would
tell the
have literally missed school for a whole year and a half,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah.
And
tell
that's
the kids
that's horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember life before the internet. I really
So I
don't.
guess in a way we're lucky that we have this. I mean, everybody's like, oh, it's it sucks that we got to do it over the computer, but at least we have this so that the kids don't take that much of a step backwards, which is I guess we're thankful in that case, but
Well, I think it's also kind of forced education to change a little bit too, and that's a very slow system to change. And this forced us to learn technology very quickly, and to learn how to use the camera. A lot of teachers just didn't know, and how to do a Zoom. Who knew about Zoom a couple of years ago? That was a TV show in the 70s. That was or Meet, Google Meet, and so luckily we had those things at our fingertips to use, but we were forced to do that. We were pushed into it, and I think it was a good thing in a way, because we always talked about doing what we call flipped learning, where you have the kids watch something at home and then you discuss it in class, rather than having the talking head in class. And then, oh, that's cool. You got like little things on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I can bring up the chats on the side.
That's awesome. That's cool. But yeah, having that, having that flip learning actually become reality, and having to teach the kids from home, and using all sorts of different materials online, rather than just staring at a talking head in front of the class. I think it was a good experience for the teachers too. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was really tough. Yeah.
How do you pick how do you choose the songs for the orchestra? Like, how do you choose what songs they're going to play? And
great question. I programmed 3 components. That's a good question. I actually have a whole method. First thing I program for is the audience. That's what does the audience want to hear? What are they going to enjoy listening to? Because that's who we're performing for. We're performing for people that have taken time out of their very busy schedules nowadays to show up. And like for the holiday concert, that was on the 22nd. So that was 3 days before Christmas. So you have, they're all out supposedly shopping, or they got to do this, make the cookies, whatever they got to do. And so they're coming out and they're giving up their time, and hopefully they're going to not go, oh boy, that was great. Little Johnny did really good, but or they come out and they go, wow, that was awesome. That was a great use of my time. I'm so glad I came out to see them, and I'm going to remember that. That really got me in the mood for the holidays or whatever, that kind of thing too. So that's number one. So programming for the audience is key, because that's your audience. So number two is programming for the kids. So making sure that they enjoy the piece too. I'm the kind of director where I'll throw a bunch of stuff at them. I'll throw a bunch of tunes at them and see what sticks. I'm not the kind of person that'll just program a concert at the beginning of the year that we're doing this. No, because maybe they don't want to do that. They want to do something that they enjoy playing for 3 months or for 4 months, however long it takes. And then I also program for the level. So I want to make sure the level's difficult enough to keep them engaged and to make sure they progress and make sure they learn something out of doing this in the preparation for the concert. So those three things: the audience, and then the kids, and then the difficulty.
So now, are you guys preparing for the spring concert now?
Already, yeah, we've already thrown a bunch of stuff at them. A couple of things have stuck, which is good. We actually did something yesterday, and they really liked it.
I have a request.
Okay, yeah.
We want the Parliament Funkadelic.
Nice. Hang on. I'm gonna write it down.
Little P-Funk All-Stars out there, dude.
I'm writing it down right now. We want the funk. Okay,
my kid's gonna kill me. He's gonna be like, really?
No, it's great. It's a great tune. It really is. If we could do it, if I could find an arrangement, or maybe I'll arrange it myself.
I would be shocked if we sat down and that came. I'd be like, oh my God.
Hey, why not? I think anything, also stuff that's relevant to the kids too. You want to make sure it's not just a bunch of all the old classics, which are awesome, by the way, which are phenomenal. But you want to make sure the key thing in education nowadays is relevance. What are we teaching these kids is going to stick with them for life. What to prepare them for life. Whether it's orchestra, whether it's math, whether it's whatever. It's. I think it's really important that we look at that as education as a whole. That's kind of my little soapbox for that. That things are relevant, and but modern tunes. Yeah. We're going to be working on Blinding Lights by the weekend. For the
nice.
Kids. Yeah, we do a kid concert. We bring all the third graders in.
Yeah,
and we don't do a lot of classics. We do like the Million Disney Magic, and we do like SpongeBob, and the kids love it, and they remember that. And that's kind of an intro to their. And we do the Imperial March, like from Star Wars, and Darth Vader comes out with his lightsabers, and it's very interactive, and it's more of a fun show than just here's a violin, or here's a viola, that kind of thing. So,
I hear you. Hey Andy, what's up, buddy? So I just got the text message that says why? My son just texted me why. So he's on it already. Why?
Kebab, man, you're watching. That's great. Kebab's
why
watching.
Did you do that to me? Buddy, I'm sorry. I threw you under the bus, but listen, if you guys start rocking out to P-Funk, dude, I'm in, all in.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah.
So this may be the most controversial question I have, and I kept them completely G-rated because I worry about cancel culture and this and that and blah blah blah, and so but it's not bad. It's just an opinion, and again, if you don't want to throw your hat in that ring, you don't have to. But do you think that music programs in schools get the support and funding that they need and deserve?
Ooh. That's a good
Superintendent, shut your computer off, please.
Yeah. Is Mr. Core listening? No, I honestly think that the support that we have here at Shaker is next to none. I really do. I'm not just saying that in case he's listening. I'm really not, because
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
And I truly think that Shaker. I have a student teacher coming, and she'll be coming in March. And I've had many other student teachers through the years, and I've always told them, this isn't reality. Shaker isn't real. This, if you get a job like Shaker, you count your blessings. It's kind of a dream job. It really is.
Yeah.
We have amazing support from the faculty within the school, to be able to have do the things that we do within the day and lessons and sometimes concerts and whatever. But more importantly, we have support from the parents, amazing support from the parents, as is evident by you talking to me. This is great. We're interacting, and that's really super. And then also by the administration. I mean, the administration is so supportive, and they have let us do and kind of given us whatever, not monetarily all the time, because sometimes it's just not available. It really isn't. And that has to be understood. And it's a tough thing. And how do you support music programs more? Do we fundraise our own money? You have to watch out for that, because you start doing that, then the school says, well, you can make your own money, that kind of thing. So you have to be but overall, anything I've needed, I've been able to get for the most part. And I've been very, very lucky and very, very fortunate. And our supervisor, Deb Keogh, who is also, she's on Facebook here too. And I don't know if she's watching, who knows, but she is absolutely amazing. She's a total advocate for the music program, and will fight to no end for what we need, and for her staff as well. So it's so great. So we actually, to answer that question, Tammy, we have Friends of Music program we do, which is very similar to a PTA kind of organization. So it's made up of parents, and they do offer support through the whole district. So for example, years ago, we needed sound shells for the high school stage. So they did a fundraising campaign for that. They were able to do a fundraiser, and we got 2 grand pianos, one for the middle school, one for the high school. This was a number of years ago as well. So that was a big fundraising campaign. Other things they do throughout the years is they support, there's different fees when the students have to go and to different festivals, different events. We had a student go to NISMA All-State this year, so they were able to help out with some of those fees as well. They are, for a parent organization, it's like basically a sports booster club for music. It really is. Probably not on the same, level as, but it's really awesome. It really is.
Yeah, Friends of Music is an amazing absolutely amazing program. I love it.
Yeah. So that wasn't that bad of a question. That was fine.
No. So now, do you guys have kids outside of school that have like bands, like garage bands or rock bands or whatever the case? Do you know of any or many?
I know of, I don't know about many. I mean, I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more of the students that had outside rock bands. I wish I knew more of the students that have outside, even studios in their homes, that play. Last year we had Billy Bono, who was a piano player, singer, kind of almost a Billy Joel kind of a sound with the piano but almost a Beatlesque sound too. So you kind of combine the two. He actually has a presence on Spotify, on YouTube as well, and he's playing out with the Jeff Spencer band now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's out with them, and so there's been a number of students that have gone on or actually have little garage bands, I guess, if you want to call it. I wish we had more of an opportunity. We used to have Battle of the Bands years ago.
Dude, I just had a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, bring back the Battle of the Bands, because I was involved in that in high school, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What if you guys did, and I don't know the logistics of this, and you would know more than I would, but what if you guys did like a spotlight on like a local music concert series where you take a couple of these garage bands every once in a while, probably when the sports programs aren't running and there's really nothing to do, maybe in the winter months or the colder months, and do like a showcase with them. Have like 2 or 3 bands play 3, 4, 5 songs at the high school. The kids can come and watch their classmates or whatever. And then, I mean, I could even help you out with getting these guys some promotion here and hopefully on Nippertown that I'm associated with. That's big. And we can get some local promotion and have a little local concert series. That'd be awesome, man.
That'd be a lot of fun. I think that definitely
And
an
again,
option.
I don't know the
Yeah.
logistics of it. That's just, the suggestion. I won't charge you for that one. The next one's
Yeah.
gets more expensive. That one's for free. I'll give that one to you.
Thank you.
But
there you
yeah,
go.
Battle of the Bands would be cool, man, because that was a fun time. I missed that. That was
We've had talent shows, Battle of the Bands. I know that the Colony Town actually had Battle of the Bands too. They've done that where they've involved South End with Colony, so it's Town of Colony kind of a thing, and
so much different than when I was in high school. Believe me.
yeah.
We used to have it was a pretty big rivalry between us and Shakers. So
yeah.
North
I
Colony
won't
hated
say
South Colony and vice versa, and
well, we don't we don't hate you guys.
it's all Colony. It's all Colony. So
it's all Colony. Yeah.
We were kind of silly back then. So what are you gonna do? But I'm glad everybody gets along now. Everybody should get along. It's life's too short for that nonsense.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's a good question for you. If you could have 3 dream instruments, I'm talking like sky's the limit, whatever instrument you want. If I could grab them and say, here's 3 of them, which ones would they be?
Well, I think an obvious one, as an orchestra teacher, as a string teacher, would be like a Stradivarius instrument. It'd be something along that line. Those are, and I wouldn't sell it to make all the money, of course, never. I wouldn't do that. No. Because there's only a few of them out there, and they're pretty amazing. The sound is incredible. I mean, they're just really.
Yep.
And I've never even had the fortunate to be able to even go see one, but whatever. But I've seen them on the internet. That's where you see a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So you see that, yeah. So I've seen performed by different people. I think the next thing, I wish I'd never sold it. I had a beautiful Taylor guitar, acoustic guitar.
Ooh.
It was really nice. Taylor. It was acoustic electric cutaway.
Yep.
Koa, and it was just and I dumped it off, and I shouldn't have done that. But that'd be another one. I'd like to get a real nice acoustic guitar. That'd be kind of cool. And I think it's not really an instrument. I was torn between a keyboard because I love playing the piano too. That's I should have double majored in college, viola and piano. I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And like a keyboard of some sort, something really expensive, of course, and like you said, or it's not really, but it is an instrument, even it's like just a souped out, tricked out laptop, something like a computer where you can just create some amazing stuff on it, with all the latest and greatest tools and software programs and tricks on it. I think that'd be
smart move right there.
Yeah, so that I think it's kind of out of this normal instrument kind of a thing. But
I mean, listen, you have people that are doing like the EDM music and stuff like that. That's their instrument. That's I'll allow it for sure. Hey, Sicko, what's going on, Bill? I'll allow it for sure.
Oh, sure, and you got all the little DJs and stuff like that. They're using all the computer generated stuff, all the laptops. I have a DJ business on the side too, and we've gone that way. It's no longer cassettes. What are those, right? And then I didn't do it when we were records, but cassettes and CDs. Now it's completely digital. So if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't be doing some of the amazing things that we are doing now.
Yep, absolutely.
The stuff that's coming out nowadays is incredible. It really is.
Yeah, there's no more 1s and 2s anymore. Now it's pressing buttons and stuff. But can you imagine? Can you imagine trying to DJ with 8 tracks, dude?
No. Nor would I want to. No, it'd be like, go right to the middle of the song. No.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Exactly.
So let's talk musical influences. Like I'm sure there's a lot of input from every aspect of music. Like, what are some of your musical influences?
Wow. From way back when, I was a real classical oriented person growing up. I kind of grew up in somewhat of a conservative environment and wasn't allowed to listen to Fly 92 and stuff like that. Maniac and Flashdance and all that. He wasn't allowed to listen to those kind of things.
Mhm.
Or, I would listen to them anyways, but it wasn't really. So I like memorized all of Beethoven's symphonies way back when, just by listening to them over and over again on the record set I got from the library, and so classical music was, and then there was this Hooked on Classics, which was classical music with a disco beat. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. But I learned every theme in the book by listening to this stuff. And then as I got along into high school a little bit more in the 80s, so it graduated in 87 from high school. So that's kind of giving you guys a hint how old I am. And then, I was kind of in the pop scene a little bit more, I think, during the 80s. So I like a good synth. I like a good screaming sax solo, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. And then in college, in the 90s, there's just so much. I never really got into the grunge scene too much. I never really got into that. I kind of, I guess, still leaned a little bit more toward the pop side, which is such a broad category. I mean, I hate to just say pop, but I even, like Dave Matthews and stuff like that back in the 90s, early 90s, that was really good stuff too. And like when people ask me, what's your favorite song or what's your favorite music? It's nowadays, there's just so much. And the beauty of having things like Spotify and Apple Music and all these streaming programs where you have not every song, but gosh darn close, every song at your fingertips within seconds. I mean, it's just, for people in my generation, it's mind-blowing. It really is. It's, because you remember we used to have to go to buy the CD or go buy the records, and you look at the back and you're like, you pull out the liner and this is awesome. You had all that, and you had the CD with the liner in it, and that was great. But you bought a record for one song or two songs on it, and then hopefully you love the rest of them at some point.
Yeah.
But now it's just like everything. It's and the kids nowadays, they can't quite comprehend it because they don't know life without it. A lot of them, and I try to impress upon them that too. Life before Spotify and life before the immense amount of music that we have available to us, which is awesome. And the other thing is, I try to impress upon them: listen to as much as you can. Don't get stuck. Yeah, don't get stuck in necessarily one genre. We looked at the website; it was every song. I can't remember the name of it, but literally it was probably hundreds, if not thousands, of genres, and every genre had a link to an example of that song, and it's every style ever made, and it's amazing. But having the students explore, that's why things like Discover Weekly on Spotify, or like when the algorithms, that's a good word, when they pick these songs that you might like, well, listen to them, see if you like that artist, and go listen to more, and then broaden your horizons that way. Don't listen to something just because your friend listens to it. Right. I mean, if you like opera, which I'm not a big fan, not that I don't like it, but I'm not going to go out and listen to a lot of opera. I might listen to one, but if you like it, listen to it. Don't if your friends don't like it, too bad. Make sure you. If you like something, try everything once as long as it's legal, and then if you like it, try it again, especially in music.
As long as it's still legal.
Yeah,
Tammy,
that's right.
My current song on replay, if I had to pick, I'm not sure what you mean by replay, but if it was like my most played song, it's probably the last one I listened to a little while ago. It was Public Enemy, Don't Believe the Hype. I believe that's it.
I think you had that plan. Didn't you have that plan? Oh,
I did. Yeah.
I did pull up what it was. Give Up the Funk. That's the one you wanted, right? Wasn't that the one?
Yes. And then there's actually every time I start a show, I have to listen to Flying in a Blue Dream from Joe Satriani before I start the show.
Yeah.
It's like a ritual. Every show, I put that on, and then it kind of mellows me out, gets me where I need to be. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but it's, you know.
No, this is some amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Yeah.
So if you could talk to 3 musicians, dead, alive, who would they be? If you could just an hour-long conversation with 3 different ones, who would they be? Dead or alive?
Well, I actually answered a little bit of that. I was interviewed by the Spotlight, and they did the 5 questions and stuff like that. One of them, I think, was if you could. It was similar to that. So, dead or alive. This is a little bit different. Dead or alive? No, it was a similar question. I think I would go with. I like, Beethoven was one of my big guys way back when. So that he's really dead though. I mean, he's been, and that would be, yeah. So Beethoven, maybe. I don't know. I think that's one of the answers that I gave there, in the other article too. The second one. See that once again, there's so many styles of music and so many different people that I've listened to over the years. Who would I want to sit down and talk with? I'm only going to give you 2 because I can't think of the third one.
That's fine. That works.
The second one is a gentleman, and actually, there's a number of guys. It's in this one band, a local band, and he is just amazing. So John Haggerty is his name, and he is in Get Up Jack, which is the name of the band. And it's an Irish band, but they do so much more than just Irish music. They do a bunch of different things, but the musicianship in that band is incredible. It's actually kind of an offshoot of a band called Hair of the Dog that was in the area quite a while. And so John is just he what he does with the band and some of that stuff, just to sit down with. And I've sat down with him before, so that probably doesn't count because I've already sat down with him a few times and chatted about it. I've had the opportunity to actually sit in with him a couple times, but nonetheless, that's a tough one. That's 3.
2 works. That's good.
2 works. It's closer than 1.
Yeah, that's a true story. I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Oh boy.
What's your favorite sport?
I like basketball. I do.
Favorite
I used to
candy?
play quite a bit.
Favorite candy?
Nerds.
Nice.
Nerds? No, Reese's. Sorry. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Reese's. My goodness.
Favorite food?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah. I want to start a food show where it's called Loafing Across the USA, where I just go across like diners, drive-ins, and dives and just try every meatloaf in the United States.
Hey, if you need a chauffeur, bro, I'm in.
All right.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? It's another one. I've seen so many. Favorite movie? Way back when, it would have had to be, I think, The Sound of Music. But that's way back when. It's a music movie too. That's kind of I don't know. I like all the Avengers. But, it all depends on what kind of mood we watch the movie.
True.
Tough question.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Shawshank Redemption. That's a good one.
This one's even worse. You're gonna hate this one even more.
Man.
If you could have only one album, Deserted Island, got one album and a phonograph, record player, whatever you want to call it. Only have one album. That's the one you listen to for the rest of your life. What is it?
A record player. It may have to be Get Up Jack. I'm a total groupie. I really am. I shamelessly admit that. I really do. And those guys, it's a lot of fun. And that I have them. I think they were the number 1 on my Spotify playlist last year of 2021. And it's a local band too. So, I support local music 100%. I think that is, we need to do that. We need to support local music. And I think stuff like, what you were talking about with Nippertown and those kind of organizations, that is just the bread and butter right there. It really is.
Yes, sir.
And that's where people get the art. And that's where people, and hopefully they find out about them. And then maybe they go national. Who knows? Maybe they stay local. That's awesome. Yeah.
So I have one more for you, and I've taken up way too much of your time as it is. I don't deserve
haven't.
even the
Not
time
at
that you
all.
gave me, but I definitely
I
appreciate it.
can't believe it's
So
gone this fast.
okay, everybody, I want everybody to just tune out right now. Nobody listen to the show right now. All right, just between us girls.
Okay.
Tell me one thing that
Yeah.
did everybody go away? Okay, everybody's gone.
I think
Tell
they're
me,
all gone.
tell me one thing that your students don't know about you that would surprise you, that would surprise them.
Wow. One thing my students don't know about me. I think I'm an open book.
They
I
know
mean,
everything. Yeah.
well, I don't know about everything, but one thing they don't know about me. That's really good. Huh. I Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the things I've told them or haven't told them. I haven't really not told them a whole lot. That sometimes is my problem.
And that's a good thing, man.
That-
That you're able to be that open with your students is a great thing. That's just,
well, I want to be relatable to them. I do.
Sure, absolutely.
I definitely.
That's what it's all about. I think
I'm
that's
gonna-
what I
I'm
asked
gonna
you the
walk
question.
to
What
the-
makes a great teacher? And that's the answer right there, I think.
Well, thanks. I'm gonna walk out of the room and think of something. It's like that. So, but,
That's right. You can tell the kid and he can film me and I'll
there we go.
it was just between us anyway. There's nobody listening to this.
That's right.
This is probably the worst show on the internet, so nobody's listening to it anyway. So
That's the kind of
listen, man, I'm gonna let you go. We've been an hour and it's been the fastest hour I think I've ever had on this show.
I know.
Dude, I'm just honored that you came on and hung out and talked to me you have no idea how much I appreciate it, bro.
We can go another hour if you want. I'm all good with
Anytime.
that.
Anytime. Listen, if you got something you want to promote, you want to come up and hang out, shoot this stuff for a while. I've been good. I haven't scored a lot tonight, so
You've been really good. I don't think you dropped anything.
I've been behaving myself.
That was great.
You want to come up and if you want to come on the show and chat for a little while, you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I would love to.
You're more than welcome anytime, my friend. Just drop me a message, let me know. Send a note home with the kid.
Yeah, it has been a true honor. It really has. I mean, to be asked to be a part of this and to kind of with Nippertown and I know you're affiliated with them and this show, starting to get as big as having Queensrÿche, right? The guy from Queensrÿche. That's to be even asked to be on the show to do this has been really amazing. It's been really an honor to share it with you guys, and
it was my pleasure, man. I'm glad you came on, and I appreciate you and your time, my friend, for sure.
Well, I thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon.
Oh, you will. You will for sure.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, he's a tech guru. He's a certified badass. There he is, right there, Mr. Brian Austin. Sir, have a good evening, man. Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a great night. See you later. Bye.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Sir, thank you, man. That was fun for sure. That's my time, folks. We're all set here with another one. Don't forget the 23rd of January, the Mark-A-Wish fundraiser that is going on at Chrome 2 to 6 on the 23rd of January. Make sure you guys are checking that. I'm sorry, hold on, I gotta get the card. 23rd of January, 2 to 6 p.m., Chrome in Waterford, New York. Support for our good friend Mark Garrett, who's going through a real rough time right now. We're going to help him out. Raffles, 50/50 tickets. There is a Venmo open right now for your donations. It is at Mark-A-Wish Benefit. That is the Venmo to donate. If you want to donate some cash to Mark, he definitely appreciates it. You guys have done a lot so far, and every little bit helps, guys. $1 to $1,000 to $1 million. So whatever you guys can give, we appreciate it. That's it for me. Make sure you guys are checking out nippertown.com. Capital Underground is on there every Monday. New show comes up. 1 hour of the best local music you're going to find anywhere. So make sure you tune into that. Of course, the crew on Wednesday evenings, and then we're right back here for another interesting Thursday evening show with your best friend Fuzz. I got the band Fuel is going to be interviewed soon. Jeff Tate from Queensrÿche is going to be interviewed soon. And the band Black Sabbath is going to be, they're going to be interviewed very soon. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. Technically, yes, Crone did close, but it is still open for benefits and private parties and stuff like that for now. So, yeah, guys, that's it. That's my time. I will catch you guys again next Thursday, same time, same channel. We have Reprise. The band Reprise is going to be here. It's a young local band, but they're damn good. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that. We'll check those guys out, and that's it, guys. We're all done. We're all set. Thank you again to Mr. Brian Austin. Definitely appreciate it. And put this one in the books. I'm done.
This town needs an animal. Come on! Here we go! We're here to rock. You're here to raise. So feel the love coming off of the stage. A bag of bricks. Just put them down. We'll lift you up and then we'll move you around. They've got their eye on the memory bell. They've got a secret they're dying to tell. Until the law, until the rain, hell has a fire. We're all crazy insane. We're crazy insane. No more feeling lonely too. No more wondering if they're coming after you. You've got the fire, now let it roll. We'll lift you up and then we'll bring you back for more. They've got their eye on the Liberty Bell. They've got a secret they're dying to tell. Until the law, until the way, hell has a fire. We're all crazy insane. We're crazy insane. They've got their eye on the Liberty
Naked Fuzzy.